Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew, and welcome on back to Cities Skylines. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am having a fantastic day. And between episodes, I want to quickly mention that I've done a bit of work. One thing that I have been doing is I've been working on the road layouts a little bit, mostly for the inner city, the starting area of our city. And I've also introduced this new bus line. Why? Because I want to try and move some more people around. Now, what does this bus line do? This bus line goes through the middle of Summit Park. Okay, so after reloading the actual game, I don't know what happened there, but for some reason the game decided to just freeze for a moment. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the new bus line that I have set up here. If we go into the transit panel, this is the new bus line. It goes through pretty much the middle of Summit Park, go into Coleridge Square, and it just travels back and forth, and it gets a good amount of passengers. I literally just put it in right as I started recording in it. There's already a good amount of people utilizing the line. Not in all stops. Like, here is a decent amount of passengers. Up here is a decent amount. Over here is a less than adequate amount. Over here, not so many, but there is a decent amount over there. Over here on this side, though, there's a little bit. So that's pretty good. But there is another thing that you guys can possibly tell that I've done. Yes, so if you guys are keen-eyed among you, you guys will have noticed that the tram line has been put in place over to Emerson Heights. Now, the reason that I put it over to here is just as a placeholder for now. Because our main plan is to have this tram line go across the river and go onto this little plateau over here. Now, I don't know how long that tram line will last for, but what I do know is that it's going to be the main tram line that we're going to have going from this roundabout area over here to this side of the city, because it's going to be cutting through directly the middle of the city. Now, something that I also did between videos is I decided to take out the bus line that was traveling between this roundabout over here and the actual college, because it wasn't getting much usage, and I didn't think that it was a adequate line for us to go and put in that would serve its purpose. That's what my main idea of getting rid of it was about, which, to be honest, I don't mind the idea. And another thing that I wanted to go and mention, last episode I mentioned that I wanted to do more detail work, and I didn't even do any detail work in the last episode, which I do apologize for. So in this episode, I do want to focus on a little bit more detail work. There is, of course, going to be some grind for some residential, commercial, and industrial, but that's a staple of this series by now. It's a staple of City Skylines to go ahead and grind out the residential, commercial, and industrial. So, with that said, we want to prioritize a new area. So this area is a little bit new. I already built up part of it. Let me actually get rid of the overlay. This area right here is a bit new. You guys can kind of see it already. Earl Richardson Street. Very pronounced name there. And then Ashton Evans. Anyway, the reason that I decided to build this area up is because I want to try and take this avenue right here, and I want to bring it over to here and have it kind of go into a dead end. So this way we'll have like an area that's dedicated for some residential. And this is where the actual bus line that we have traveling along this corridor right here is going to end at. So for those who are wondering about that, that's the plan. So I do want to do a little bit of detail about getting some suburban-like houses over here, because I did, if I remember correctly, I did go ahead and download some assets. Now, I don't think that they are available as a ploppable asset. I believe they are a growable. So I think I need to check something in the content manager real quick, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, So I did a quick reload, and why is it that I had to go do that reload? I will get into that in just a moment, but I want to go ahead and build up this area a bit first. Now, something that is quite pronounced of me to do, and this is done clearly out of temptation, it's not done on purpose, but every single time that I open up City Skylines, the number one thing that I do before I open it up is go check out the Steam Workshop to see if there's any new assets. Um, and that gets into my point for why I want to build this new area. This area right here, I'm going to get it district real quick. And we are going to call this just a little bit of that area. Yeah. This is not going to be called Copper Park or Cooper Park. Yeah, that would be funny if it was. Instead, it is going to be called Ocean City. Now, for those who have already taken a look at the workshop, you will know why I have it set for Ocean City. I also have a custom theme that is named Ocean City. This is because King Leno, one of the best asset creators that I know on the Steam Workshop, has released a very cool set of assets called the Ocean City Apartments, and they are low-income housing apartments and are low residential housing apartments. I'm not too sure if that was clear enough. But he also released a townhouse version as well. It's in a similar style. It's kind of like a little bit of a modern, contemporary style. And I really do like it. And I want to go and have this area of the city dedicated to those assets. So that's what we're going to focus on here today. And I want to just go ahead and try and get these built up first. Let's just go ahead and build these up, see what builds up over here. These will only build up for low residential and high residential. So, in case you guys are wondering, yeah, the low residential is the actual apartments, and then the townhouses are classified as high density. So, we are, I think this is one of them. No, it is not. I think that it's actually like a level 4 buildings. I wish I can go. I need to just go and get plop to Grobles. Yeah, I need to get plop. Okay, and there are 3 different apartment buildings, a part of the Ocean City's apartments collection, I guess. There is this one right here, which is a named like the apartment 1. Which you can see if I go and type in Ocean right here. You see Ocean City Apartments 1 through 3 right here. These are all growables, and I have to admit, I like them. I like them a lot. This one, I would have to say I liked even better, the Ocean City Apartment 2. And then this one right here is Ocean City Apartment 3, which I gotta say, I like all 3 of them, which if I wanted to... Now, because of Plop the Growables, I have these mods, this set up so that way they do not grow after they have already been placed, and they will be, I forget what the other thing is. They will be made historic. So all these buildings will not level up. They will be set to stay the way they are for the time in which I go ahead and have them in the game. Now let's actually go ahead and do the part that we have been waiting for by building up Ocean City. Let's get into this. Okay guys, here we go directly on into the time lapse. So I kind of wanted to get the idea that this is a suburban area of the city, kind of really close by to the city, has a feel of it being near it, but I really wanted to go and make it a little bit different. So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to put like a half roundabout type deal at the end of this, So that's the first thought process that I was going with when I was building this. I decided to go ahead and do a half roundabout, and later on I'm going to be putting in a like crossing road over there somewhere, like right where those roads actually are, right there actually, yeah. That's where the crossing road is. And something that I kind of goofed up on when I was actually building all this is I thought that it was okay idea to make the gaps 8 wide. I didn't need the gaps to be 8 wide. In this area, I only needed the gaps to be about 6 wide. Well, not 6 wide, 4 wide for the actual apartments, and I think 3 wide, or no, 6 wide for the. I'm forgetting the words. For the townhouses that we're going to have on the opposite side. So, in case you guys can't tell, this side that we're working on right now is going to be meant for the apartments, and the opposite side of this area, which is on the freeway side, is going to be for the townhouses. So, that's something to go and keep in mind. Like this area right here. This area is all the townhouses that we'll be working on. And right now I'm just doing a little bit of move it with all the roads, which I didn't really need to do because this is when I realize how big the actual buildings are. And like some of it actually is a good idea to go ahead and do. I keep the main roads there, the ones that actually connect to our actual way into this area. But then I realize at this point how big I can actually have the gaps be for the actual area, which is a pretty decent size. It's not a small size that we can go and have it be. In fact, right here, it's pretty decent. In fact, I think I delete most of this area over here. Yeah, I just delete all of that area and start all over from the very get-go. And this right here is going to be a lot of repetitive action that you guys are going to be seeing over the next few minutes. If you guys do want to skip this though, there should be a timestamp down in the description that you guys can go to, and and you will be able to get to that portion of the video. Now, there isn't much to the video after this time lapse, to be honest, because it's pretty much just me signing off after that. Because I have other things that I need to do. Like, for instance, I got to get this video edited for you guys. That's what I'm doing right now. And I just need to go and get that taken care of for you guys. However, I do want to go and quickly mention something to you guys before we get too far into the video. This upcoming Saturday, we have a City Skylines live stream going on Twitch. And that live stream is going to be for a new design series that will be releasing on YouTube every Wednesday starting next week. So if you guys want to go and take part in that design series and see all the action behind the scenes, then please do go ahead and stop by. Link can be found in the description. It's the little bit.ly link down there. Or you can just go to my website, which is www.lgyt.me. And you can just go ahead and go to Twitch, and it will direct you over there easily. Now, here is where I'm trying to work out some redundant roads that are just going to be like going all over the place. And now I'm trying to work out the actual transit. Like this part right here is going to take me a minute or two. I'm like, where do I want it to actually stop at? Do I want to go here? Nope. No, I don't want to go there. That's kind of what my mentality was when I was building it. Now I'm building up the actual apartments, and this part right here is going to get repetitive regardless. If you have watched any one of my series, there has been a lot of repetitive behavior before, and I gotta say, it can get boring after a little while. After a little while of doing the same exact thing over and over and over again, it can get boring a lot. And I do understand some people's concerns saying, hey, maybe you should try mixing it up a bit. But games like this, it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that when you're trying to stay as close as you can to vanilla, even though I'm nowhere even close to vanilla at this point. It's very hard to go and stay as close as you can to keeping it interesting. Now, the way I'm keeping it interesting right now is just introducing new assets in almost every single episode, but that's going to eventually die off, and that's not what I really want to rely on. What I really want to rely on is all the detail projects that I want to put forward on this actual map. And if I can do more detail projects that would be like very inspiring to others, then that would even make my day. That's what I would really want to go and look forward to. So we're just getting a lot of the apartment buildings put in right here. Same as what we were doing about 2 minutes ago. And generally, it's not much that we got to worry about. Like, right here is pretty easy going. We don't need to worry about it that much. And I think at this point, I'm going to go and let you guys listen to some music until the end of the time lapse, or you guys can go and skip to the actual end of the time lapse if you want. All up to you. And I'll see you guys for the end of the video. Okay, so with that time lapse now finished, we kind of got this area all nice and detailed. Well, not really detailed, but we got the area started. That is the primary concern. Now, I did mention I want to do detail work in this area, and that is something that is going to be a priority because I want to get some detail work in these gaps over here surrounding Terry Street a little bit. I kind of want to put something over here in this like little oblong type thing that we got going right here. There is going to be a lot of traffic, by the way, that's going to be coming in from this side to get into these housing because it's just created. So the game's like, oh, let's go and spawn 50,000 vehicles to go and come move into these new houses. So that's something that I'll deal with between now and the next episode because you can already see the traffic starting to flow up because of that. Yay. Anyway, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to have to do for this episode. I will definitely be doing a little bit of off-camera work between now and the next episode, and we'll work on some much-needed details for the area as well. We also have a high industrial demand at the moment, so we'll go and get that taken care of as well. Anyway, I will catch you guys for the next episode. Have a good one, everyone.